Alright guys, we are back. And every time the cast ends, if you see what's going on the screen right now, do you see the close button on the scoreboard? I have to do this. I don't have a cursor. I just have to like feel out where my cursor is on the map, on the screen by moving it around. It's a complete disaster. It's a pain in the ass actually. Well, let's talk about this patch. So I'm gonna be a little bit slow here. I need to recover my voice. It was dying. I'm sure you guys could tell like halfway through that it was rough. Spoiler alert for 686, all music in Dota 2 replaced by Niz's playlist. Oh no. I mean, I like the stuff that I play, but at the same time, I don't really have many songs on the playlist. So that would be a disaster. Where were we? We're talking about Ember Spear, right? Fire Remnants no longer give vision. Good, they shouldn't have. Anyways. Enchantress. Enchant cooldown reduced. Okay. Trying to bring back these junglers. Trying to bring back jungling into the game. It's kind of gone right now. There's no way you can jungle in 685. Even though all the LCs and whatever that plague the... What? I know people complain about it. I think it's the 2K bracket. Maybe it's the 3K bracket with all the LC junglers. But they'll probably tell you different, but... Yeah. Jungling's dead, guys. Maybe not in 686 though. Enigma, he's probably going to get buffed too. Eidolon movement speed increase. Okay. I wonder what this means. Actually, I'll keep reading. Malefice damage increased. Okay, that's good. We're coming out of the jungle and ganking. Black hole cooldown reduced. That's good for tempo. Playing the Enigma, it's actually not that big of a change though. It's just the late game. 20 seconds isn't really that big. But I wonder these movement speed, this is mainly just for ganking, I guess. Coming out of the jungle and just actually being able to do damage. I don't think we're going to see offlane Enigma come back. Faceless Void. Removed from Captain's Mode. Oh no, what did they do to Void? He was such a simple hero design. What could they have... They must have changed stuff. Replaced backtrack with time dilation. Applies a debuff to all nearby enemies. 650 AoE, 6, 7, 8, 9 seconds. Causes time to be frozen on all enemy abilities, causing their cooldowns to make no progress while they have this debuff. Slows movement and attack speed by 4, 6, 8, 10% for each locked ability. Huh. Huh. I don't know what to think about that. I'm gonna finish reading his stuff before I really think about this. Time Walk no longer slows units. What? Time Walk now undoes any damage taken in the last 2 seconds. Okay. So it's like a rewind. Time Walk cooldown rescaled from 6 seconds at max rank. Jesus. Time Walk mana cost reduced to 40. Time Walk range reduced but to 550. Yeah, that's low. That is really, really low. Time Walk cast point reduced from 0.35 to 0.2. I'm trying to think of what this means for Void in terms of how he's going to be played. This is a hero without backtrack now. Although he's got Time Walk. But the Time Walk has no range. 550 is incredibly low, which means setting up a good ultimate is very, very difficult. Like to the point where you may get Blink on Void. You go Blink on Void, you blink in and get a good chrono off, and then you can use your Time Walk to chase. It's weird, like that just doesn't work. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't know what to think about Void right now. And they don't know either, that's why they moved him out of Captain's mode. They don't know how good this is going to be. Gyrocopter. I'm playing a lot of Gyro. I love Gyro right now. Cooldown's first missile damage reduced from 250, 300, 350 to 220, 285, 350. So they just reduced his early game strength. Still really strong though. It's a minor nerf to Gyro, but it's not really going to hurt him that much. I'm alright with it. Huskar, this hero better be nerfed into Oblivion. Berserker's blood bonuses are provided linearly from full until 10% HP, rather than stepwise at 7% increments. Okay. Berserker's blood maximum magic resistance reduced from 50%. Ouch! And this is significant too, the level 1. Wow. Good, the hero isn't unkillable with magic damage anymore. Good. I was talking about heroes that basically are too strong with 5th pick. But they're basically useless outside of getting 5th picked. But then when they get 5th picked, they're ridiculously strong. Huskar is one of those heroes. Even though we've been seeing him get picked earlier, it's still like you need something to be able to counter him, and 5th pick sometimes leaves you with little to no options. So this makes it so he can actually be. He's not super strong 5th pick. I like that. Invoker now starts with Invoke level 1 at the beginning of the game. Okay. Invoke now has the standard 6, 11, 16 leveling. Okay, level of 25 Invoker, since he is now missing an ability level, yeah, because you got rid of one, has an attribute bonus ability that grants 6 all stats. So when he hits 25, he gets plus 6 all stats? That's a little weird. Jakiro, base damage increased by 7. Jakiro mid is back. This is something that was experimented with 3, 4 patches ago? Might even been 4 or 5 patches ago. But he's very strong in the mid lane. This is actually a very significant buff. I don't know if it's enough to see him played mid, but it's interesting. I like it. Keeper of the Light. Chakra magic cooldown reduction increased from 2345 to 3456. Chakra magic buff duration. Okay. Chakra magic now restores and increases mana capacity. So it's like an over mana. You give someone you like over mana buff. Interesting. That's how Soul Ring worked in Han. You could go over your max mana by using it. I like this. This is interesting. These are interesting changes for Coddle. This is a lot of portion of Chakra that wasn't really utilized much. People just always considered it just a way to give someone mana. But this change, and certainly this change, is very, very interesting. Think of situations where, I know this is not really recent, but Say Tidehunter on your team. He rushes an early refresher. He doesn't have mana to use 2 Ravages. Kalo can then give him mana capacity to use 2 Ravages. That's a situation we probably won't see, but it's one of those ones kind of to think about going forward. Interesting. Kunkka Scepter. Awesome. Ghost Ship now drags enemies within a 200 AoE of it towards the crash site. It now starts from where you are rather than behind you, lands in the same position it normally would have. Enemies are still able to perform actions while being pulled by the ghost ship. Okay. I'm interested in this part. It now starts from where you are rather than behind you. I'm assuming you still get Coco's Rum buff. And maybe that just gives them less time to react to it. I guess that's what they're going for. This is an interesting buff. I like it. Or interesting agnums. I still don't know if you get it. But Torrent now gives your team vision over target area immediately upon cast rather than just when triggering. Okay, Tidebringer is now an auto cast ability. Will only trigger if turned on or cast directly on the target. That's great for being able to lane with Kunkka and being able to control when you use your Tidebringer and when you don't. I keep referring back to Han, but Han had some of these things, so I'm going to refer to it at times. There's a hero called Rampage, which was kind of like a crossbreed between Batrider and Spiritbreaker. It's a little bit crazy, but a lot closer to Spiritbreaker. So think the bash from Spiritbreaker, you could say when you wanted it to be, but then you'd be on cooldown and you can't bash again until it's back up on cooldown. So you could kind of trigger it when you wanted it to, but you wouldn't always be using it. It's kind of like that. That's interesting. This is actually really good for Kunkka. Tidebringer damage bonus increased. Okay. Tidebringer AoE from rescaled. Typo. Okay. Ghost Ship mana cost reduced. Alright. I mean, these are little changes, but I like it. I like the direction Kunkka's going. I think he's not far from seeing play, and I think these may actually push him towards that. LC. Moment of Courage cooldown. Reduced. This is buff across the board, 0.1 seconds everywhere. It's good. Legion Commander's Scepter. This is huge. Now makes you and your target immune to all damage unless the source is between the duel participants. Oh. Oh. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Huh. I don't know. I don't know what to think about that LC. Life Stealer. Rage attack speed bonus increased. So early on, okay. Beast damage and lifesteal increased. Wow, 50-second infest cooldown. Huh. I don't like lifesteal as a hero. I still don't think this is enough to play him though. Fine, Earth Spike mana cost reduced. Not by much. Lion needs more than that. Earth Spike duration increased. Okay, so that, he's got really weird, like, if you look at the times on some of these abilities, like 1.02, 1.52, 2.02, 2.52, it was because of, like, the fly time or whatever from Earth, that you'd be in the air, and that joined with the stun. It was a weird thing, but interesting that they removed that. I don't know. I think Lion is a little bit of a niche pick, but I don't know. I don't think he's that bad. I think this is okay. I think he maybe needed a little bit more to compete with some of the top tier supports right now. Lone Druid, temporary removed from Captain's mode. Replace synergy with a new ability for Lone Druid. Savage Roar. Causes enemies in a 325 AoE around you and your bear to run away with 20% movement speed bonus towards their fountain. Note, an entangled hero will not be able to move still. Spirit Bear also has this ability, but the cooldown is shared with your hero. That's actually really strong. Like, really, really strong. This is like a 2.4. Oh my goodness. This is interesting that it's towards their fountain. And it's not away from. Because if you were using your bear and you came in behind them and you use that ability, they would then run towards your team. So it's interesting that they made it towards their fountain, so you'd be running back towards the bear still. But this is very, very strong and good to keep your bear alive. I'm assuming this won't work through BKB. But that's long, 2.4 seconds. It's like a fear, kind of. Spirit Bear attack damage increased? Wow. I mean, it was 33 and now it's... Jeez, that's a lot of damage. Movement speed increased. Just slightly, though. Okay, rapid duration increased. Okay. Rapid movement speed increased. That's a big health bonus as well for true form. 300 more HP at max rank. At rank 1 it's only 50, but 300, that's a lot. Wow, Lone Druid's a real hero, guys. This is actually really good for Lone Druid. Luna, turn rate increased. Good, her turn rate was garbage. She was in the worst turn rate class, I believe. Eclipse Scepter Beam interval reduced. Okay. Lycan. Well, we saw Lycan just get picked. You guys were talking about they thought it was the wrong patch, the new patch. Let's see what has changed. Lycan Wolves and Shapeshift no longer grant critical strike. Okay. Lycan Wolves now gain Cripple at level 2, granting a 20% chance to cripple the target, causing it to take 8 damage per second and lose 40 attack speed for 4 seconds. Really weird, okay. Shapeshift, that actually is great for jungling, Lycan. Shapeshift now grants all units under your control 40% chance for for crit. Huh. So you only get the crit when you've got Shapeshift. But you get crit for your Necrobook minions and other summons. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. It's like a nerf buff. It's a nerf buff is what it is. It's both. Magnus got a scepter? Changes in power to be an allied hero aura. Affects ranged heroes for half values and causes them to deal splash damage around the target in a 200 AoE. Can still be cast on units, but does not stack. I'm assuming that when you cast it on units, that it doesn't do this portion, right? It just does the original, so you're getting the full effect for ranged heroes, but you're not doing the AoE. Interesting. That's actually really good for Magnus. But you look at where you're thinking, right? Like you're going to get Blink, Force, and then do you want Refresher or do you want Aghanims? Because you're not getting both. So is this good enough to get over Aghanims? Or over Refresher? Skewer distance increased. That's quite significant. 150 range. Rank 1. Skewer slow reduced. Yeah, that's about skewering back to tower. This makes it so Magnus like can't be an offlaner. Well, I mean it can. This helps him offlane. But the slow means you can't skewer someone back to tower and it be as effective. This actually makes him more of an offlaner maybe. Skewer slow duration increased. I don't know. These are... Magnus is going to stay in the spot he's in right now. I think he's still viable, but he's not like an everyday pick. Medusa. Mystic Snake no longer increases mana steal per jump. Mystic Snake and mana steal is now percentage of total mana. Huh. So this could be more mana, but it could be less mana. Because before, you could use your Mystic Snake and target the creep so that it would bounce, and then you're stealing mana from the hero last, which means you're doing the most damage, and you're stealing the most mana, which could actually reduce them to lower mana values. Whereas this is 20% of total mana. And it says total mana, not max mana. Which means it's of their current mana value. Double damage no longer affects all Meepo units. Good, it shouldn't have. Didn't make sense that it did. Attack range increased from 600 to 630. Good, good. Starstorm radius increased. That's good. Sacred Arrow now instantly kills the first unit it hits if it is a non-ancient creep. Roaming Mirana with levels because you can just arrow big creeps in the jungle. That's actually great. Roaming Mirana is back. And this is actually quite strong as well. The attack range. Even this is quite significant with being able to come in and get a gank. And getting that the double Starstorm as well. I like it. I like it. These are great changes for Mirana. I'm going to play more Mirana. Morphling. Adaptive Strike. Base damage increased. Wow. Mana cost reduced. Morph rate increase. You say Jungle Mirana, but I mean the arrow still has a long cooldown, a long-ish cooldown. But it's interesting. You could farm the camp though. Think of how Crystal Maiden gets a fast 2. You can do the same thing with Mirana. You could definitely do the same thing with Mirana. Morphling. Morph rate increased. Oh my god, you're never going to be able to kill this hero. 16? The hell? Morph now shifts in intervals of 1 rather than 2. This change doesn't affect rate of change, just smoothness. I don't understand. I don't understand. Hybrid cooldown reduced. So Morphling just got buffed like crazy. Why? This hero's... No one likes playing this hero or watching this hero. Oh my god. Naga Siren, base intelligence increased. 18 plus 1.95 to 21 plus 2. So the gain and base increased. Or the growth. Why is that? Why'd they do this? I don't think this brings Naga into the game. Nature's Prophet. Base intelligence increased. More mana, more damage then. Trend damage increased. Okay. Jungle faster, can split push faster, you can even gank better. Is that enough to bring Nature's Prophet back in? It depends on how prevalent split pushing will be. Or whether 5-man is just really, really strong. As well, like, if everyone's moving around and killing people and then taking towers on the back of it, like, who cares if you're going to be able to split push on Nature's Prophet? They'll just end the game. Holy shit, Necro is like the tankiest hero in the game. Base armor increased by 1, literally unkillable. Necro's already a beefy hero when he's played as a core. Wow. Oh no, my Night Stalker! Avoid slow at night, reduced from 4... I still like it. I'm still alright with it. Night Stalker's still good. Nyx Assassin. Nyx Impale duration increased. Wow, that was actually quite significant. 1.27 to 1.6. But still pretty much the same at max. Spike Carapace cooldown. Okay. Base health regen increased! What? It was ridiculous when it went up to 2.5. Now they give him more?
I know you're a monster.
Do they want this hero mid? They might want this hero mid. I mean, it's not weak. But not with the way that the mid's getting played right now. I don't think it's strong enough to be a real offlaner either. Because of the kind of offlaners we have. Oracle. Enabled Oracle in Captain's mode. Oh god. Bunch of changes to stuff, and I have absolutely no idea what any of this does. I'm just going to skip them. I'm going to have to read what that hero does. Dude, I don't know what Aether Lens is yet. Oh no. I think we're almost there, right? We're at O's. We're getting there. We worked how Astral Imprisonment works. Astral Imprisonment now deals damage to enemies in an area around the target when it ends. The target itself will also take damage. If it is an enemy, deals whatever magic damage affects a 400 area. No longer steals intelligence, can now be targeted on creeps.
I know you're a monster.
So OD can now farm much faster. Intelligence steal isn't a thing, so we can't just outlast hit every hero in the game. Interesting. Odie's a mid hero again. Odie's still a hero. Or he's now a hero. Astral Imprisonment cooldown rescaled. Dude, we're gonna have the return of OD mid with Roaming Mirana. Astral Imprisonment cast range rescaled. Look at that, he even got a buff to cast range. Which is the thing you struggled with. Astral Imprisonment duration increased. It's a flat 4 seconds, making it easier to set up the arrows. This is Roaming Mirana OD, like it's a thing, it's confirmed. Essence Aura AoE reduced from 1000 to standard 900 aura radius. Okay. Arcane Orb now steals 0, 1, 2, 3 intelligence per hit for 40 seconds. Heroes only. So the int steals on Arcane Orb. Ooh, he got dumb. Learning disability. Intelligence growth reduced by 0.6. Yikes. It's still fine. It's still fine. Odie's a hero. They're going to put Sumail safe lane and put Arteezy mid because Odie's a thing again. Phantom Assassin. Oh, Egg Scepter OD catches 5, does a billion magic damage. Pretty much. Phantom Assassin. Base intelligence increased. Okay, PA smart. Look at that. Increased by 2, but also the growth. 0.4. Alright, what else we got? Phoenix. Sunray turn rate increased. Wait a bit. It always felt ridiculously slow trying to turn with Sunray. Supernova damage per second increased. It already felt so hot. Phoenix is a hero. Puck. Uh-oh. I know that they didn't make the changes necessary for Puck to be a hero, but let's read them. Illusory Orb mana cost reduced from 150 to 80, 100, 120, 140. Okay. Spammable in the lane as a mid to get CS. Okay. Illusory Orb cooldown increased from 11 to 14, 13, 12, 11. Huh. I don't know if you guys can hear my cat, but she's saying hi to you guys. What else do we got? I don't know about that cooldown increased. I don't know why that's necessary. Waning Rift cooldown reduced. So that's the silence. From 16 to 16, 15, 14, 13. Okay. Lets him at least compete with the Big Daddy mids nowadays. Puck? I don't know about that. Warning Rift no longer only silences heroes. Okay. I mean, if it's an AoE silence, it should have been silencing everything to begin with. Puck still doesn't do enough damage. Like, that's what it comes down to. He's a ganking hero with not enough damage to solo gank. Like, he needs someone there that's going to provide a lot of damage. And it's just not, like, he's a ganking mid that can't gank well enough. Like, I don't, he just needs more damage. That's what it comes down to. And this is going to help his item progression, but I still don't... Puck needs damage. I don't know. I think his attack projectile is a little slow. I think his attack damage is a little low. This is going to help him last hit and get gold and help his item progression, but he needs damage. I don't know if it's enough. Rework Scepter on Pudge. Reduces cooldown of Meat Hook to 4 seconds and increases damage from 360 to 475. No longer grants previous Scepter bonuses. Okay. Dismember damage from... It got reduced plus scales off strength. Okay, so... And Dismember now heals you for the damage it does. So they just gave him Aghanims. Yeah, Dagon Core on Puck. Yeah, maybe. Like, that's how you need the damage, but... You're still going to have to get Blink, right? So you're going to get Blink Dagon, and then you've got a hero that doesn't live. Even though you're Puck, you're still dead. Then what do you want after that? You need a Yules to counteract silences against your hero? You're still not getting HP. Like, that's why... Puck needs damage. Without damage, he's not a hero. This Pudge is, this is actually crazy. This is really good for Pudge. Jenkins is going to be like the best player in the game. Well, we're already, his team's already in the playoffs. Playoffs start what for Dota 2 Canada Cup? They start, tentative date is on the 20th. That's... No, they would be playing the 23rd. So he's going to have some time. Interesting, though. But this Pudge change, this is huge. That damage increases quite a bit. I mean, the damage is nice, but The 4 seconds, like, you're just gonna be throwing out hooks like crazy. You're gonna need mana to be able to do this, though. You're just gonna be fishing for hooks, trying to, like, push uphill and stuff. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. And this is actually gonna be a buff. This is definitely a buff, so... Crazy. Decrepify no longer slows allies. Good. Plug in a buff. Even though I hate playing against the ward. Pudge with the new rune and eggs. 2-second hook cooldown. Yeah. That's actually crazy. I wonder, like, what happens. Can't your hook be like... Cuddle Pudge double hook? Yeah. You're gonna have 2 hooks going out. That's awesome. That's actually crazy. That is really good synergy. I like that. Queen of Pain. Queen's gonna get some damage nerf. Scream of Pain damage reduced. It's actually same at max rank. 300 on either. Just early game Scream of Pain, which isn't really that big of a change. Sonic Wave travel speed reduced. That's good. Now you're gonna be able to have a better chance of dodging it when you're like max range. Cuddle plus new rune plus Octarine machine gun hooks. Okay, that's just getting a little crazy, guys. Ricky, temporarily removed from captain's mode. Reworked pretty much everything. This is going to be interesting. Permanent invisibility to include backstab. Ricky grants... okay. No longer gets the HP. Okay, we got to keep reading. Blink Strike back to basic ability without charges. Good, 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 good. It was stupid that it became an alt with charges. That was terrible for Ricky. This is good for Ricky, though. This is good. Added a new ultimate for Ricky. I'm hoping it's Death Ward, but it's not going to be Death Ward. That's not coming back. That's Witch Doctors to stay. Ricky phases out of the world for up to 3, 4, 5 seconds, attacking every enemy from behind in a 450 area around him. He attacks once when phasing out, and then once per second while being phased out. Wait, what? He attacks once when phasing out, and then once per second while being phased out. Okay. That's actually like... Guys, Magnus and Ricky. Like, we already have the Darkseer and Ricky somewhat synergy. This is going to allow them to vacuum them onto Ricky. But Magnus is like nuts. Mag gives Ricky Empower. And then he jumps and RPs them, and Ricky's there, pops this ultimate, and he's attacking them from behind, cleaving. Like, everyone's dead. That's crazy. Strength growth reduced. Ooh, he's got no HP. Got a lift? Start lifting, dude. Ricky's turning into a nerd, just sitting in front of his computer playing video games, not working on the muscles. Agility growth reduced. Oh no, he's getting fat too. He's not able to move anymore. Uh-oh. That's... okay. Base armor reduced. Oh no. Smokescreen no longer slows turn rates. I didn't even know it did this. Huh. I know one of my friends really likes playing Ricky. And I know he doesn't like the changes. I think it's a buff. I like it. I think it's good. I think there's synergy with Ricky and other heroes, which is what he needs to be a better hero. And not just well, I'm gonna jump in and cloud them, and then we're gonna try to keep them in the cloud, and then I'm gonna attack them. and hopefully we do enough damage. Like now this is Ricky Tricks of the Trade is interesting. I wonder how this is gonna work when he phases out of the world. This must be like Slark ult. It's interesting. I actually like this. I think it's going to be really interesting to experiment with Ricky. Rubik. Fade Bolt attack damage reduction increased. Fade Bolt attack damage reduction increased. Okay. So he got buffed. Rework Scepter on Sand King. Is it usable? I mean, it was okay before, but Veil was just better, even though I hate Veil as an item. Doubles Bro Strike cast range and applies Caustic Finale poison to heroes. No longer grants previous Scepter bonuses. Base strength increased from 18 to 21. He's beefy. Caustic Finale slow increased from 25 to 30. He phases out of the world and into your inventory. Yeah, I know, right? The memes. I don't... Double Burrow Strike cast range? Do you need that? I mean, applying the Caustic Finale to heroes is definitely good. I mean, this is good. Don't get me wrong. This is good. I don't know if the double Burrow Strike cast range. I gotta think about how big that is. That's really big. It gives you a lot more opportunities to jump in with Epicenter. Interesting. Shadow Demon. Disruption illusions duration from... Whoa, 12 seconds! That's great for Shadow Demon. He's a hero that was on the verge of being playable. And this is good. This is good. Shadow Fiend. Added Scepter. Because Shadow Fiend needs something. He needs to get better, right? Requiem of Souls waves... I'm being sarcastic, by the way, guys. Requiem of Souls waves now return back to Shadow Fiend, dealing 40% damage on the way back. All of the damage a Requiem does to heroes on its way back heals you. What the hell? Base armor reduced by 1. Shadow Ray's mana cost increased. I said that they were going to have to do this. Thank God. This is good. These are actually good. This is a good change for Shadow Fiend. I think he's still tier 1. He's still a really good hero. Oh, we'll have to see what the changes to... Because the changes to neutral stacking and how hard it is to clear them with spells now because of the stacking magic resist aura. We'll see. I have to see how much that hurts Shadow Fiend, but this will definitely hurt him. The mana cost reduction or increase. Yeah, I still think he's a good hero. I think this Aghanim Scepter is actually great for him. We might see him get played a little bit differently as a result, but that might be a little too early. Shackle's total damage increased. Okay. You don't really think of using Shackle for the damage anyways. Mass Serpent Wards requires 2 hits to destroy. Previously had HP, so it's got the flat number of hits to destroy. I like that. That's actually a Shadow Shaman buff versus carries, a nerf versus supports. Extra 450 range takes away need for Force Staff after Blink. I don't even think you needed to get Force Staff after Blink. I don't think it was bad, but I don't know if it was necessary. I don't know, like... And you say that, like, eliminates the need to get that, but instead of getting a 4 staff, you're getting a more expensive item. It's kind of weird, right? It gives you huge initiation catch range. Like, you're like a clockwork at that point, though. With Blink and that Bro Strike range. God, it's crazy. Yeah, I might be underestimating that. Replace Curse of the Silent with a new ability, Arcane Curse. I didn't like Curse of the Silent, so... Okay. Targets an area, causes enemies to take damage over time. Anytime they cast a spell, the duration of the debuff is increased. If an enemy affected by this debuff is silenced, the debuff will pause. No damage and no time elapses. Wow. Duration 7 seconds, stacking duration 4 seconds. Anytime a spell is cast, this is added to the duration. DPS, okay. Cooldown, mana cost, radius, effects, creeps. Note, spell cast means the same stuff as Curse of the Silent rules were. Stuff that procs magic 6 and isn't an item. Okay, let's think of some heroes. So we're looking at heroes that want to cast a lot. So probably the best hero to think that this would do well against is Bristleback. It sucks in the lane though. But yeah, I mean, Curse of the Silent was shit in the lane anyways. You didn't get it. You got it in specific matchups, but for the most part, you don't get it. I think this makes it an ability that you would get. I like it. I think it's good. Glaives of Wisdom is no longer a unique attack modifier. Oh god. So now he can get unique attack modifier. Wow. Still didn't do anything for giving him mobility, and that's the weakness to Silencer. Heroes that can close gaps. Interesting. Skywrath Mage, concussive shot mana cost reduced from 110 to 95. Okay. Slardar, I know what they did to him. I heard about this a couple weeks ago. Inside source. Amplified damage now only reveals the target rather than the area around it. Storm Spirit, Electric Vortex, mana cost reduced. Wow. Electric Vortex is that the pole? Yeah, okay, it is the pool. Alright. That's what I thought. I can never remember the name of Storm's abilities. I knew the other one was Remnant. I don't know why I thought maybe this was Remnant. Been long day. Sven, base damage increased. Apparently Sven needed that. God's Strength, Scepter, Aura bonus damage. Jesus Christ. God's Strength, Scepter, Aura bonus damage increased from... Okay. So Sven, a hero that was getting played in competitive and it was still pretty good, got bumped. Okay. Refraction is now always visible. That's good. Should have been from the get-go. Terrorblade. Enable Terrorblade in Captain's mode. No changes to him. None needed. Tide Hunter. Added Scepter. Yes. I love Tide. Causes Gush to become a ground-targeted wave ability that travels for 1800 range. AoE 240, projectile speed 1500, cooldown 7 seconds. So you can just launch like a tidal wave at the guy. That's awesome. 1800 range. Not very wide, but that's awesome. Anchor Smash cast time reduced. Okay. That's actually a very big buff for him. Ravage stun duration rescaled. So it doesn't have the ridiculous numbers. Once again, it's the same thing with all the airtime of the stuns from Lion, and surprised nothing happened to Sand King, but I think they already did it to Sand King. They already fixed that. Timbersaw, Whirling Death. Overall, I think this is great for Tide. I love it. I love playing Tide. Timbersaw, Whirling Death, debuff duration increased. Okay. Whirling Death mana cost decreased. This is good. Reactive armor duration rescaled. Okay, so it's less valuable at level 1, but more valuable overall. So it hurts him actually laning. But this is great for Timber. I think this is making Timber stronger. He's one of those heroes that snowball base, but he can definitely come back into the game. So cool. Tinker. Why? Why is this a thing? This is another hero that no one likes. Everyone hates playing against this hero. The only people that like Tinker are the ones that actually can, like, stand playing him. God. I used to play Tinker a long, long time ago, and oh my god. What's wrong with people? Craig Exterior now triggers on attacks landing rather than on start. Yeah, I heard about this. I remember there was a game I was casting. I think it was Banana Slam Jamma. I could be wrong, but someone was playing Slark, and in one game they were silver edging and they were coming up on the tiny, and they went to right click out of the silver edge to get the buff for that, and then they were going to pounce. And it happened 4 separate times in the game to pick off a tiny, and he got Craigied attacking out of it, and the tiny just got away. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. This is definitely how it should have been. Trend Protector. Leech Seed mana cost reduced. Okay. Overgrowth AoE increased. Okay, it felt already really small. Scepter Overgrowth damage and Vision AoE increased. Wow. Tree's a new hero. PPD +1 for heroes. Troll Warlord. Oh no. Fervor reduced. Okay. Fervor max stacks increased. So you get 2 more stacks, so this is actually a buff. So overall this becomes a buff. At the max stacks. When you're not at the max stacks, it's a nerf. Ranged Whirling Axe's cooldown reduced. Good. Alright, that's okay. Toski's gonna get hit hard. Movement speed reduced by 5, not much. But you have to keep in mind that also affects your snowball speed. Ice Shard's damage reduced. Yeah. It's pretty hard at the higher levels. Snowball can no longer pull units out of Black Hole or Chronosphere. It shouldn't have been able to do that anyways. Snowball gather radius reduced. It already felt kind of small at times, but I think that's fair. It felt too big. When you're seeing it in competitive games and stuff, when you're playing it, it doesn't necessarily feel the biggest, but when you see it, it feels big. Undying. Tombstone zombie damage reduced. Okay, not by much though. Tombstone bounty increased. I was right, it was 150. Said that in the cast earlier. So it's all the way up to 200, okay. This is the biggest one. The low levels, it's a lot of gold. Especially like in the laning phase. Think of if you're going in an aggressive dual lane and you've got an Undying, and you place down a Tombstone and it just doesn't work out, you have to back. Look at how much, if you're maxing Tombstone first, it's a lot of gold that you're giving to the enemy hero. Tombstone no longer grants 44 XP. It's a building, it shouldn't. Just like the tower shouldn't. Scepter added to Ursa allows you to cast your ultimate while disabled and reduces cooldown. And rage is no longer purgeable. Yeah, it just buffs Ursa. Why not? God, I hate playing against Ursa too. This is great. I don't think anyone will get it though. The cooldown reduction is really nice, but I don't know if you want to give up a slot for an Aghanim's and Ursa. Vengeful Spirit. Added Scepter bonus to Vengeful Spirit. Causes you to spawn a Vengeance Illusion when you die. The Vengeance Illusion deals 50% damage, takes 150% damage, and is able to use all of your abilities, but not items. The Vengeance Illusion lasts until she revives. Note, she still grants previous Scepter bonuses to another swap. I was gonna say, she already had one. Wow. That's great for Venge. And Venge is just kind of coming into the game as a position 4 again. Venomancer. Venomous Gale cooldown reduced. Okay. Stoneform AoE increased. Yeah, people like seeing this hero. And it's one of those heroes that's somewhat difficult to play. And why not? Like, buff it a little bit, get it more played. We saw Lil from VP. He's been playing it a lot recently, and it's almost like a respect ban against them now. So it's really awesome that teams have to respect the fact that he's really good at this hero. And by buffing it, they're creating that situation further and gonna get more people playing this. Which is kind of a nerf to Lil, but in VP, but it's okay in the end. Warlock base strength increased, so he's got more HPs. Shadow Word duration increased. So a little bit more damage, a little bit more healing coming out from Warlock. Interesting change. I don't know if it's enough to bring him into play. Almost done. Weaver. Oh, almost on the heroes. Then we got items. Base damage increased by 3. Okay, so the Swarm Beetle's base attack time improved. Alright. Wind Ranger Shackle Shot is now disjointable. It should have been anyways. It's ridiculous that it wasn't. Shackle Shot speed increased. Okay. Shackle Shot angle reduced. Okay. I feel like it was never the proper degree anyways. I still am going to guess that I'm probably not going to feel it's proper. Power Shot speed no longer decreases by a small amount as it goes through units. It doesn't really make sense. I mean, it makes sense that it does, but in the context of the game, it shouldn't. It should just be the speed. Winter Wyvern, he got hit hard, I heard. Temporarily removed from Captain's mode. Cold Embrace cooldown increased. Well, that's a lot. It's still the same at max level, which means his team fight later on in the game is good. You have to keep in mind, it's Cold Embrace. When do you put points into Cold Embrace? You typically max your W. Splinter Blast first. Arctic Burn slow reduced. Okay, this hurts his ability to roam and gank. That level 1 is the big one. From 25 down to 19, so you got nerfed by 6% on the slow. Winter's Curse primary and secondary units are now immune to all damage from their enemies. Wait, what? I gotta keep reading, I guess. Winter's Curse secondary units now have 50 attack speed bonus. Okay, so when you Winter's Curse someone, their allies are attacking them, but you can't provide to that damage. It's just them attacking. And those heroes that are attacking get 50 more attack speed bonus. Winter's Curse AoE is increased, so it's bigger as a result of this ridiculously hard nerf. Winter's Curse cooldown increased by 10 seconds, not the biggest. Winter's Curse duration increased. That needs to happen because of this. Fixed Winter's Curse lingering if the primary target died. Okay, so it no longer will linger. Axe used to do that. He used to have an issue with his taunt lingering. When Axe died, people would still be taunted. This isn't as bad as people were making it out to be. Winter's Curse was already ridiculously overpowered. This actually still is pretty good. But he's not going to be in Captain mode. But he's still a pretty good hero. It's not as bad as I was expecting. Witch Doctor. Maledict mana cost reduced from 120 to 105. Okay. Maledict cast range increased. It felt really low, so this is good. Okay, slight buff to Witch Doctor. Wraith King, last hero. Vampiric Aura can now be toggled to make the lifesteal for heroes only. That's great. For laning phase, you can actually level it and not push the creep wave if you choose to. I always feel like you should be able to toggle things that are going to affect stuff like that. Items. New items. There's 4. I skipped over them early. Fairy Fire. New consumable item. Costs 75 gold. Provides 2 damage. Use Consume the Fairy Fire to restore 75 HP. Cooldown 5 seconds. That's for mid heroes to get that. Instead of GG branches, you still get your 2 damage. You lose stats, but 2 damage for 75 gold. That's cheaper. And yeah, that's for mid heroes. Pretty good. I'm not sure exactly how that'll pan out as the game goes. New item form from Ogre Club and Quarterstaff. Ogre Club, Quarterstaff, no recipe. Okay. Provides 10 strength, so that's the Ogre Club. 10 attack speed, that's the Quarterstaff. 10 damage, yeah, okay. And 130 attack range. Range heroes only, does not stack. Wow, can be disassembled. So you get this, disassemble, build BKB, and Butterfly, I guess? What else does Quarterstaff build into? Besides Orchid. I guess that's it. I mean, then you could just have a casual Quarterstaff, but then really all you've done is you've gotten this to delay your BKB, which isn't bad. This is still a pretty good item. You might just keep this. Gotta think about what heroes would use it though. Your traditional Butterfly, like SF. Interesting for SF. Dro. I don't like Gyro because I think S and Y is important. I don't think if you're going S and Y, if you typically like going S and Y, this will be good. Interesting. I like that item, but I don't know. This 130 attack range is huge. Aether Lens. This is the one you were talking about. New item formed from Energy Booster, Ring of Health, and Cloak. Cloak. Interesting. This build-up is pretty interesting. Provides 250 mana. Keep in mind, like, Energy Booster, that's mana boots. Ring of Health is just good regen in lane. Cloak is also good. So you're going to get energy boots. You're going to build mana boots with a Ring of Health. Then you're going to split your mana boots to get Cloak to complete this item. Gives you 250 mana, 8 HP regen, 15 magic resist, 200 plus cast range. What? And 8% spell damage. So you're... Wow. Cast range improvement affects targeted spells and distance-related spells, such as Venomous Gale. Does not affect AoE abilities like Poison Nova. Okay, so you can't get it on Gyro. To make his Q bigger. Interesting. So what is this gonna... This is good for heroes that like to cast a lot. This is Lina. This has Lina written all over it. Interesting. That's a good item. New item formed from Quelling Blade, Ring of Protection, and a recipe. Quelling Blade, Ring of Protection, 125 recipe. It's cheap. 500 gold. Provides 2 armor. Bonuses of Quelling Blade. Active. Lets you target non-player enemy units to remove 40% of their current HP. Cooldown 14 seconds. Note, cannot target ancients. Has normal 4-second cooldown when used on trees. Jungling item. Pretty good. 500 total. You could start with it. And still have regen. This is a good jungling item. Item changes. Abyssal Blade. Bash damage increased. Whoa! Damage bonus decrease. Okay. Animal Courier. Courier purchase cooldown increased from 7 seconds to 2 minutes. Good to stop people from spamming them and running them down lane and stuff. Animal Courier cost decreased. Oh, that's a good buff for our supports. Gives us 20 more gold. Arcane Boots. Movement speed reduced by 5 and total cost reduced by 50. See Boots of Speed changes. Okay, we're going to skip past these two to go to Boots of Speed here. Cost reduced from 450 to 400. Movement speed reduced by 5. This applies to the following: Boots of Speed, Arcane Boots, Phase Boots, Power Treads, Tranquil Boots. Everything but Boots of Travel. Right? And GG Boots. Huh. Interesting. AC. Attack Speed Aura bonus now affects buildings. Blade Mail cooldown reduced. Wow, Blade Mail got buffed. So, by people getting Blade Mail, it forces earlier BKBs as well. And this is them speeding up the game. Boots of Speed Bottle. Cost reduced from 700 to 660. Health regen per charge reduced. So, yeah, mana regen per charge reduced. They nerfed this last patch. A charge now heals over 2.5 seconds instead of 3. Total amount is 90-60. Added bottle to side shop. Starts with only 1 charge. As usual, if you use the item, you cannot sell it back for full price. So you can't buy it, use the bottle sip, and then sell it. But this is interesting. I think we'll probably have offlaners pick it up. Probably around 6 minutes. They'll have enough gold after their boots, assuming they don't start with boots. Or they might have enough, and then they go for their 6-minute rune, and then they go to gank. And they'll have levels and everything. This is interesting. Definitely interesting. I wonder if we'll even see supports getting it. I'm gonna close my Dota 2 here. Butterfly. Flutter movement speed increased. Ooh, that's a lot. 10%. Flutter duration reduced. Oh. Okay, Clarity. Mana regeneration increased from 170 over 45 seconds to 190 over 50 seconds. Same mana regen per second. Okay. Cloak. Magic resistance reduced from 20 to 15. Okay, they nerfed the jacket. Crimson Guard. Crimson Guard. Chance 75% to block. Okay. Daedalus more reliable but less actual burst. Yeah, look at that. Average damage increase, basically up 1%. Diffusal Blade. Agility bonus increased from 20/35 to 25/35. Okay. Intelligence bonus increased from 6/10 to 10/15. All right. Drum of Endurance. Endurance bonus. Movement speed increased. Yeah, okay. Ethereal Blade mana cost reduced. Okay. Flying Courier cost reduced from 220 to 200. More gold for supports. Glimmer Cape. Base magic resistance reduced from 20% to 15%. That's in line with the change to Cloak. Heart of Tarask. HP. Glimmer Cape's still good though. Still a good item. Heart of Tarask, HP regeneration increased Okay, it's still... I mean, that's good. That's great for Heart. But it's still... I don't know. Dominate now sets the dominated creep's base movement speed to 350. I know Dominate's the active ability. Of course it is. Hood of Defiance. Hood of Defiance now has an active ability. Creates a spell shield on your hero that absorbs up to 325 magic damage. So it's like a pipe for you. Cool. Iron Branch can now be used by targeting the ground, planting a happy little tree that lasts 20 seconds. 200 cast range. The Bob Ross tree. This is... Hood of Defiance buff specifically made for Pudge. Yeah, I think it is quite good for Pudge. This Iron Branch, I mean, it's fun and it's interesting. But like...
I know you're a monster.
Think of what's going to happen with this. You're juking through the trees, and you just drop a tree, and that gap is no longer there, and you're gone. 200 cast range means you're not going to be able to put it ahead of the guy to block his path, for the most part. It's just, I don't know. I mean, I can see a couple situations where it's really good. If you're trying to gank the Radiant mid laner, and you like put a tree in there so that he can't go through that space. But still, like, it's, I don't know. It's weird. I just feel like this is going to lead to heroes being able to get away easier. It's cool.
I know you're a monster.
It's cool. I don't know. It's cool, but at the same time, it's... Why is this necessary? I feel like they just did this because they thought it would be funny. I don't know. We'll see. Javelin. Pierce improved from 20% to deal 40 damage. Pierce improved from 20% to deal 40 damage to 25% to deal 85 damage. Wow, damage bonus reduced. Okay. Yeah, it's in line with what they say here. Lincoln Sphere, cooldown reduced. Okay. Damage bonus increased from 10 to 15. What is the duration of the buff if you put Lincolns on someone else? Is there overlap here? I don't remember. Damage bonus increased. Okay. Mantle of Intelligence removed from side shot. But the other ones weren't. Interesting. Why is Slippers of Agility still there? Because it builds into Aquila so nicely, I guess. Monkey King Bar. Mini Bash. Proc damage. Increased. Damage bonus. Yep. Necrobook. Recipe cost reduced. Necro Archer attack range increased. Okay. Observer and Sentry Wards. Observer and Sentry Wards now have an AoE indicator before placing. They also use a new UI for placement. I don't know what that means, but I'm guessing you can, before you place your Sentry Ward, you're going to be able to see the AoE around the Sentry Ward. Cool. Observer Ward. Experience bounty increased from 50 to 100, so we're going to get 50 more experience for counter warring. Octarine Core now affects the replenish time of charged abilities. Okay. Orb of Venom is no longer a unique attack modifier. Wow, okay. Phase Boots, phase active no longer cancels when casting. Thank God. Movement speed reduced by 5 and total cost reduced by 50. See Boots' speed changes. Yep. So this means if you use your phase boots and then use a spell, it doesn't remove the phase boots effect. which is good. Really, really good. Think of like Jug, right? If you're running at someone, you could have phased to get closer to them and get in a good position to then start spinning. But before, you had to spin and then phase. And you're like wasting some of your spin as you're closing that gap a little bit. Silly. Silly stuff. Power treads, 5 move speed down. So everyone's a little bit slower by 5. So boots aren't going to be as big of an advantage when you're first getting your boots. But overall, map's going to be effectively bigger. It's going to take longer for people to get places, but... yeah, I'm still going over the patch. What do you mean? I got everything to read. Quelling Blade cost reduced? Oh, I didn't even notice that the cost for Quelling Blade was 200 in that new item. Ring of Protection, cost reduced as well? Okay, wow. Armor bonus reduced. I would have preferred it staying at 200 and giving me 3 armor. Rod of Atos. It's just a shit item, remove it. Making weird changes like this isn't making this a good item. Sange, Maim no longer pierces spell immunity, okay? Greater Maim no longer pierces. Satanic, duration increased. That's big for Satanic. Scythe of Ice, Hex cooldown reduced. Good. Silver Edge, debuff is no longer dispellable. I didn't even know that it was. Skull Basher, strength bonus increased from 8 to 10. Bash damage increased from 60 to 120. Damage reduced, that's in line with all the other stuff. Smoke of Deceit is cheaper. Still have the cooldown though, but maybe that'll get people using smokes more. And once again, giving supports more gold to do with, to get items, right? So you've got the courier costs less, the upgrade courier costs less, Smoke of Deceit now costs less. Tango, boosted tangos now last for double the duration instead of providing double the healing rate. What's a boosted tango? Using Tango on Iron Branch trees provides double healing duration. Okay, so that explains what the planting a happy little tree thing is going to be doing for us. And it's not as dumb as I was saying before. So you can drop a tree and then eat it with the Tango. Good for mid laners, I guess. You're going to lose your stat from doing it though. Boosted Tangos now last for... because you're going to have a pooled Tango, that'll work. Boosted Tangos now last for double the duration instead of providing double the healing rate. What's a boosted Tango? I'm so confused. What's a boosted Tango? Is this something they covered later in the patch notes? They must. Whatever, we'll move on. Tranquil Boots. Oh, Tango used to eat a ward. Oh, okay. I had no idea that there was a term for that. I didn't even know it gave you double the healing rate. Tranquil Boots. Apparently there's a lot I don't know about this game. Tranquil Boots armor reduced from 4 to 3 in line with the change to Ring of Protection. Movement speed reduced in line with a lot of stuff. Vanguard chance from 75% to block 420 to 100% to block 3216. Okay, they're just making stuff a little bit more predictable, reliable, consistent. Veil of Discord now requires 2 times Robe of the Magi instead of a 900 recipe. Int bonus increased by 12, making the build-up even better for Veil. Still don't like it as an item. Vitality booster added to side shop. Good. Ultimate ore removed from side shop. Okay. Yasha movement speed bonus reduced from 10 to 8. Nerf to Yasha. Additional changes. Updated the dashboard top bar. The armory has been moved from within the Heroes tab to its own top level button, next to the Quit button. The armory, of course, the armory is next to the Quit button, so you see it and think about buying hats every time you quit. The armory now has a new items preview panel when hovered. Custom games can now be found inside of the arcade tab. There is now a top level store tab which includes featured items. Version has been moved to within the store tab. Okay. Updated ARDM game modes. Fixed various ARDM related client crashes. It was like unplayable, so when selling items in ARDM you now get 85% of the purchase price. Well, that's no fun. Part of ARDM was making sure you weren't complete shit when you died and you got a different hero. You can now see your next hero and skill up as soon as your current hero dies. Oh, as soon as your current hero dies, okay. I was going to say, you better not be able to see it while you're still alive. That would be dumb. Fixes in the Steam client released. Fixed upon that could cause for... Added mechanism to Steam for Dota. I guarantee you they're not fixing all this shit that I have issues with, by the way. Steam or download. Okay, good. Add an option for specifying whether you always want to hear the default respawn music, even when using... Private lobbies can now set how pause is available in-game. Unlimited, where any player can pause. Limited, where players have limited amount of pauses. And disabled for no pauses allowed. That's good. I don't think everyone's ever going to use that, but it's cool that it's in there. There's support for it. Why isn't there something about duration of pauses or whatever? Like... I still think it's better to never have to use these. No pauses allowed. That's just... You're never going to use that competitively. Limited, where players have limited amount of pauses. Sometimes you just need to pause. Even if it's beyond the thing and... I mean, I guess that's where an admin steps up and pauses, but... Who knows? Shit happens. Bunch of people DC. Sometimes you just need an extra pause because there's multiple people DC'd on either team or whatever. And if a team's out of pauses because of this limiting, it's silly. That's a very small issue, but unlimited where any player can pause, which is where it is now. I see that just being normal. I don't see us really ever using the other stuff. Added a new targeting UI for unit AoE abilities. Yeah, they mentioned that. Chatting LMAO now causes your hero to laugh. Fountain healing now shows a buff icon during its duration. Fix a bug where picking none for a stat didn't stick on profile cards. Okay. Added a clear button that lets you clear a slot. Okay. Okay. Improved appearance. It's a spectator gem. I don't know. Something probably about hats, of course. On the customized screen, it is now possible to select all items in the same set as a particular item by right-clicking. Oh, really? That would be nice. Fixed particles not appearing in the hero loadout and in-game hero picker screens. Okay. Improved pathfinding. I mean, it's got a long way to go, so report any bugs you find. We'll see about that. Fixed a bug where the friends menu sometimes clipped elements. Okay. Fixed Dota spectator auto spectate games. Okay. Added Dota redeem item code. I didn't even know this was broken, by the way. I don't really use it anymore. Added Dota redeem item code, a console command to redeem legacy Dota codes. Okay. Yeah, this was broken. Fixed a bug where sounds from the dashboard would sometimes play while in game. It was also just playing random sounds. That's why I closed Dota just a second ago. I don't know if you guys might have been able to hear it. Fixed bring to foreground when match found option not working. Okay. Screen shake effects. Fixed a bug where heroes would sometimes be missing facial movement. Okay. Fixed a bug. Random polygon shooting. Fixed status effects. Yeah. Fixed a bug with screen space particle effects not previewing correctly. Where ghost units would sometimes appear in the center of the minimap. What? I've definitely never experienced that one. Fixed a bug where some text in item tooltips would be cut off. Yeah, I've seen that. Lowered memory usage, particularly on the treasure details page. Is that it for the bugs? Oh god, there's so much that needs to be worked on. Oh god. I told you nothing that I have issues with is going to be fixed. Added ability to preview work that doesn't yet meet submission constraints. Still cannot be submitted until the errors are resolved. Okay, I don't do any of this workshop stuff, so we'll skip over it. It's SFM. Character picker can now preview and create. Okay. Alright, and that's our patch. Well then. I don't know what to think. I didn't, going into this patch, I didn't feel like we were really in a bad place in Dota. I thought there were some heroes that needed tweaking. And I was under the belief that this was not going to be a very big patch and it was going to be small balance patches. And, well, this is a lot. This is just a lot of stuff. And it might have been too far. I don't know. Obviously, I've got to play it and see how it feels, but I honestly didn't think Dota was in a bad spot. Like I said, there were some heroes that needed to be adjusted, but... Dead game. I don't think it's a dead game at all. There's some things that worry me. I don't like... I think the lone druid thing's interesting, but I don't know how it's going to play out. I think the morphling thing, I don't like it at all. I don't like that they're bringing some of the stuff back into the game that doesn't really work well to like hype people about the game. You make it exciting to watch, and I think that's very important for the game. More exciting to play. Like Tinker, for example. Why are you buffing Tinker? Do you want Tinker back in the game? That's it. Tinker and techies. Think of like why people hate techies. It's fun to play, but it's terrible to play against. People don't even like having that hero on their team. Tinker? People don't like ever playing against Tinker. And you know what? It's kind of shitty having it on your team too. But people that play Tinker love it. Like, I don't know, like, it's just creating a weird situation. Most of it's good though. Most of it's good, and I agree with. So, I was surprised Queen of Pain didn't get nerfed harder in terms of her damage. And I think she needed a little bit more, but it's not too bad. I still don't believe this HP buff or HP regen buff for Ogre Magi. I hope this isn't too much to bring people away from picking Night Stalker. I think it's good that he's in the meta. I'm not sure about this. Nature's Prophet. Necro, I don't know. I don't think it's going to do anything. I'm not sure what they're trying to do with this Naga buff. I think the Mirana stuff is great. I love that hero though. So I'm biased. Lycan, I'm unsure what the goal was there. I mean, they're making him a lot more dependent on shapeshift. What else do we have? Both these changes are weird. Kunkka's cool, Coddle's cool. Invoker's weird. I'm not sure how this is actually going to play out. Husker got nerfed like he needed to. Faceless Void, this hero's in a very weird spot right now. I was really surprised Ember didn't get more. I expected a duration nerf for Fire Remnants. So you can have them out for less. Can't be out there for too long. Elder Titan, I don't know. I don't know if this is good enough. It might be. I'm still unsure about the Earth Spirit, although I like this nerf. I think this is really big nerf. To support Earth Spirit. Doom is weird. I think this is a good change overall, but I find it a little weird. Death Prophet's a little weird, but I think this is good. This is good for Death Prophet. She might actually be too strong, and it's good that she's not in Captain's mode. Dazzle... he needed the nerfs. This is still an interesting change, the Ion Shell change, because I think it brings heroes like Chen into the meta. And being able to shut down Darkseer, and I think we're going to see more Chen get played. Interesting. I really like the power cogs change, making a circle rather than a rectangle. I talked kind of at length about that earlier. They're still really pushing Chaos Knight. Centaur, this is big. 75% return damage. Brood Mother needed the nerf. Bristleback, I think that's really interesting and cool. I don't know if it's enough to bring him into play though. Brewmaster just got buffed. He's always kind of a hero. I was surprised by this. The bounty, slow buff. This was weird too. It's no longer unit targeting. I mean, I'm fine with that. I actually don't like unit targeting on things like that, so. Bat Rider buff is good. This might bring Bat back a little bit. Movement speed nerf to Bane. I was surprised he didn't get a little bit more. I was thinking maybe he'd get a little bit of a HP regen nerf. I don't know what his HP regen is though, but I figured he needed something to do with his ability to trade in lane with an offlaner. And that also allows him to be really strong early on when we see that kind of 2v2 mid. I thought that's where he needed the nerf. The move speed is a pretty big nerf to him, but I figured he needed a little bit more. But this is a nerf at least. The Alk change was needed, and I actually was talking with friends talking about this. Something needs to be done here. I'm not sure what they were going to do, and I actually like the change that they went with. All these changes to the map, there's a lot of them. I didn't read most of them towards the end, but most of them actually seemed quite good, but a little bit weird to visualize. Most of this other stuff is pretty good. These changes to the Satyrs and Satyr Banisher's Purge cooldown reduced from 5 to 3 seconds. So that's what I think, like Chen taking one of these Satyrs and bringing it into lane against Darkseer completely shuts down Darkseer. And like kills him as an offlaner. But you're like sacrificing your Chen's ability to jungle really hard too. But I think this is like a win. Definite win for your team if you pick a Chen and shut down the Darkshire like that. It forces the enemy team to rotate and do something about that. And then it's very easy for Chen just to not do this. I really like that we've got random draft is added to ranked matchmaking. That's cool. People are going to play that, and we're going to see a lot more heroes getting played, and it's going to make the game a lot more fun to play. It's also going to make the game more fun to play, to watch competitive players as they're practicing. Arcane Rune's going to be a lot of fun and interesting. I'm still not unsure about this. I'm not sure how much this is going to increase gold by for carries, but it'll be interesting. And this was also weird. They gave everyone more HP. I don't know. Anyways, that's my my patch analysis. Took a while to go over it, but that was fun. I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna definitely shake up the game and make it differently. Also, hi Frempo. Coming in late. We're already done casting for the night. We were going over the balance patches, the balance patch in between games for the Dota 2 Canada Cup. And just kind of going over things while we had weights, and then we finished casting, and I went from Ember Spirit all the way to the end, and it took a while. Yeah, I covered basically half the patch notes after the cast. Oh my goodness, I read through all this. Jesus. Wow. Anyways, guys, that's it for me. My voice is completely dead. I need to rest it. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll be back tomorrow, 7:30, casting more of Dota 2 Canada Cup. We got Group D to finish. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.